Good evening and welcome to the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of Wednesday, March 14th, 2018. The Planning and Zoning Commission is a citizen advisory group to the City Council charged with making recommendations concerning land use plans, planning processes, and/or on matters of plan implementation. All regular meetings of the Planning and Zoning Commission are recorded for record retention and transcription. The agenda for this evening, we will start with agenda item number 1, which is roll call and disclosure of conflict of interest, ex parte communication, and site visit. Aislinn, if you would call the roll, and if each commissioner would state their name, what area they are from, and anything that they may need to disclose.
Sean Hargraves.
My name is Sean Hargraves. I reside in the University neighborhood. I did a site visit for agenda item number 3, and I have nothing else to disclose.
Jack Moore.
My name is Jack Moore. I live in the Old Town neighborhood, and I have visited this site in the past 2 years several times, but I did not do a current site visit. And I have nothing else to disclose.
Sarah O'Connor.
My name is Sarah O'Connor. I reside in the college neighborhood, and I did do a site visit on agenda item 3.
Ryan Satterfield.
Ryan Satterfield from the Highland area did a site visit on agenda item number 3. Nothing else to report. All right, agenda item number 2 is approval of minutes. Commissioners, have you had a chance to review the minutes? Any discussion on the minutes? None, I would entertain a motion to approve them.
I'll motion to approve the meeting minutes as written.
I will second that motion.
Very good. It's been moved and seconded. Aislinn, would you call the vote?
O'Connor.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
Hargraves.
Yes.
Satterfield.
Yes. Motion carries. Agenda item number 3, preliminary plat, Love to Bid subdivision. Love to Bid LLC, represented by RMES, has submitted a request to subdivide 11.05 acres, more or less, into 10 commercial lots located on South 5th Avenue at I-15 and at the end of Velton Avenue. So if we could start by hearing from the applicant.
Joel Dixon, RMES, 600 East Oak Street, Pocatello, Idaho, 83202, representing Love to Bid LLC and Tanner Hernandez Primetime Auctions. As you mentioned, we've got 11 acres of land that we want to split up into 10 different lots. It's currently zoned commercial general with a smaller portion of industrial kind of smack dab in the middle. The lots 4 through 10, we're going to access that off of South 5th Avenue, with lots 1 through 3 accessed off of the Velton Avenue cul-de-sac. I went through the staff report and nothing was a surprise. We're good with all those. The couple things I just wanted to touch on is for stormwater, each lot will be responsible for submitting its own design for storm, which will be part of the building permit application. The sewer and water, lots 1 through 3 will be accessed off Velton Avenue, and 4 through 10 off of South 5th. We're currently doing a study on the water line in Velton Avenue to see if it's sufficient to provide capacity for those 3 lots. If they are not, we will have to access or have water and sewer provided from South 5th, and so we'll just have to run those up with an easement. It's probably the same one that we're using between 8 and 7. The joint trench will also go in through these provided easements on the drawing. And as part of our development, we will be adding a sidewalk along South 5th Avenue. And if there's any curb that's in disrepair or pretty disheveled, we will go in and fix those. The approaches, there's currently 4 different approaches on South 5th, and what we're working with ITD on relocating those to line up with this preliminary plat. And since we've actually already submitted some plans to the state and received comments back from them, but we've changed the location, so we're going to have to kind of resubmit that and coordinate it with ITD. And as part of that, the developer will be building those approaches out to the end of the easement. But those are all the other items on the staff report we were okay with. If you have any questions, I'd love to answer anything you have.
Very good. Thank you, Joel. Any questions for Joel? All right, thank you.
All right.
Now if we could hear from staff. Matt?
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Commission members. Matthew Lewis, Senior Planner. Good evening again, Matthew Lewis. You have before you for consideration the preliminary plat for Love to Bid subdivision submitted by Tanner Hernandez and Stacy Hernandez of Primetime Auctions and Love to Bid LLC, represented by Rocky Mountain Engineering and Surveying. Subject property is located between South Fifth Avenue and Belton Avenue. Proposed subdivision is a replat of a portion of Roper subdivision, Primetime subdivision, as well as real property that has yet to be platted. Proposed subdivision includes 10 commercial lots, which encompass 11.05 acres plus or minus. The zoning for the proposed subdivision is primarily zoned commercial general. There is a small piece that is on the northwest portion of Lot 8 that is light industrial, and that's mainly because there is kind of a storage building that abuts that right to the north. Staff has reviewed the application and recommends approval of the plat with the conditions listed in the staff report. This concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Merrill is here as well, available to answer any questions on items pertaining to Public Works requirements.
Very good, thank you, Matt. Any questions for Matt or Merrill?
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Matt. Well, Commissioners, the items before you. Any discussion?
I actually did have a question
Okay.
for the applicant.
Joel, would you come forward? Sure.
Are you, how developed are you going to make these easements?
At this point, we're kind of holding off as much as we can to developing the easements and building them out. Tanner and I have been in discussion about kind of just improving the furthest north access to Long One just a little bit, just to kind of make it a little bit more connected. But the intention is that when these lots sell out, they would basically build the easement and the access road that it would take to get to their lot. So.
Right, and so in other words, it's the person that buys the commercial area.
At this point, yes.
Yeah, all right. I think that's all.
Thanks, Joel. If there's no other questions, I would entertain a motion.
I would make a motion to recommend approval per staff analysis and conditions.
I'll second that.
Excellent. So it's been moved and seconded. Aislinn, would you call the vote?
Hargreaves,
Yes.
O'Connor,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Satterfield.
Yes. Motion carries. Very good. That concludes our meeting for the evening. We're now adjourned.